Press play.
Replay, replay, replay.
You're watching Play Replay with Async. Today I want to talk about something that I enjoy very much, and that is the Masters of the Universe 2001 or 2000 series, the cartoon series. It was on Cartoon Network, I believe, at the beginning, and then I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if it moved from network to network. I don't know a whole bunch about how the show was debuting or airing on whatever platform. But I noticed that the show was much better than a lot of other stuff, especially even outstanding amongst other shows as even the shows that are out today. And the Netflix show in general, specifically, I would say doesn't compare. Now, the Netflix show might have better, maybe the art style might look cooler, I guess, and more interesting, I guess. It's done, the Netflix show is done well, it's drawn well anyway. But the problem with the Netflix show is it kind of gets into some areas that I think kind of leave the Masters of the Universe original series and original ideas behind, and kind of goes off into this other stuff that I feel is woke. And I'm sorry if my opinion differs, and it's not the same as yours, because I know the internet, you have to check everybody's opinion and make sure that everyone is all in agreement and we all agree on one opinion, because we can only have one opinion in the world. So if my opinion does not match yours, you can go somewhere else and watch another video. I shouldn't have to say all this, but you know, we do know a certain amount of crybabies that are on the internet that have to watch a show and hate through the whole thing because they don't like the opinion of the person who makes the video on their channel. And I've never seen anything like it. I mean, you don't turn on the news and say, I disagree with the news, and then basically cancel the news and call them up and say, you have to cancel this whole news company because I disagreed with one opinion. I understand that there's a lot of bias and a lot of hypocrites out there that don't like to hear any other opinion but their own. But this is a big world, and there's a lot of people in this world, and I think that it's a good idea to let people have opinions and let people have different views, because if we all had one mindset and one thought process, that would be a totalitarian nightmare where only one opinion is allowed to conquer the world. That's not the world I want to live in. I'm a critical thinker. I think critically of things. I'm not perfect. I'm not even right all the time. But I have the right to my opinion. So I'm not, now that I've gone down that rabbit hole, but I felt I have to say that because I'm seeing other people on YouTube being attacked for having a different opinion. Because God forbid that ever happens. God forbid anyone ever thinks differently. Oh my God. So I'm done with that rant now. So anyway, Masters of the Universe 2000X, 2001, 2000 series, whatever. That series was one of my favorites. I bought it on DVD. I wish they had it on Blu-ray. I don't know. Maybe they do. But that show just went into stories that are just so... They filled out the stories. The Filmation show was great for its time. As a kid, I grew up and it was kind of corny. They kind of made everything kind of jokey and it wasn't very serious. It was drawn well, but it just couldn't do the things that they can do now. Unfortunately, now they have woke and they have to fill every little gap with wokeness nowadays in every single piece of media, because, you know, they're doing that so much in China, right? Oh, wait, no, they're not. They have women and men in China and they don't talk about anything other than that. Oh, so that's only in the Western nations? Huh. I wonder why no one's canceling China and all these other countries then. Saudi Arabia, places like that. They don't have the power to cancel them? Because we're supposed to all have one mindset, right? Well, anyway, I'll get off my tangent because I know that I'm probably rambling too much. But the show for me was pretty amazing. When I seen it when it came out a little bit, not very much. I actually seen like 1 or 2 episodes. Probably the first 3 episodes. It's like a full length movie. It's like an hour and a half or something. Anyway, the first one, the beginning, and I thought, wow, this is well done. They're actually explaining stuff that the Filmation cartoon from the 80s didn't actually explain. So they really filled out, and they actually had character development, and you actually got to get character-based stories where you get to see what Mekaneck is up to. You actually see what Trapjaw looked like before he got the mechanical arm and stuff. You get to see these little things. You get to see Skeletor as Keldor before his face was burned. And I know there's a lot of people that disagree with how Skeletor is portrayed and they want him to be a demon from another dimension. I understand all that. But I kind of like the Keldor story and everything. I just think it was cool. But you get to see all these things. You get to see how Randor looked, King Randor, He-Man's father, or Prince Adam's father, in the beginning when he was younger, and you get to see him when he's older, and you get to see all these different characters and how they develop throughout the series. Unfortunately for me, the series kind of went downhill by around, I think, the 3rd season, when they decided that they wanted to go with changing the color of armor. They wanted everything to go Snake Men, Snake Men, Snake Men, Snake Men. They just wanted to do everything Snake Men, and they started to try to sell toys and sell the same toys with different colors and different things, and they just lost it. As far as I'm concerned, I would have done the Snake Men in the last season and done the Horde in the 3rd season, but that's just my opinion. That's my view on that. Maybe you got a different view. That's fine. So I just think the show is great, and I just think it's worth noting and definitely checking out, because if you got this series, you'll definitely enjoy it. If you like Masters of the Universe, now I understand some of the stuff is different. The sword of He-Man, that was different. I didn't really like that in the beginning when I first watched it. I was like, well, I don't like this mechanical sword that changes, but okay, whatever. And you get to see He-Man does look a little bit different. Every character looks a little bit different. Like Merman's not, his like armor is like copper looking instead of yellowish. But most of the characters feel and act just like the character you envision in your head for these things. And like Beastman, he's this big, giant lumbering character instead of like regular size like everyone else, and I just love that. And there's a lot of cool things with Evil-Lyn, the story behind her. There's a lot of different backstories that you get, and you get to see how these characters came to be the way they are, you know, and that is cool. You get stuff like Ram Man, he's scared of, you know, the dark or whatever, and you get different characters and different stories, and it's very interesting. So I don't want to go on and on and on. I want to make shorter videos. I try not to make longer videos, but I tend to ramble, so I'm trying to stop the rambling so much. I just wanted to get this out there and talk about this, because that's what I do on this channel. I like to talk about things that I enjoy. Sometimes I'll talk about things that I'm not a big fan of, but not too often. Because there's a lot of good stuff out there. It's just not being made in the newer stuff these days, because woke took over and destroyed everything. And until that gets fixed, and until Hollywood and everyone decides to stop being quote-unquote progressive, which they're not progressing, they're decreasing, if you ask me. They're de-evolving, if you ask me. But anyway, if they could just get over themselves and stop being so arrogant and speaking down to everyone and telling everyone what to think because they're in a big cult, then maybe they could make something that's worth watching and make some money too. I mean, because people are canceling their subscriptions and not going to see movies. You've seen movies that have just flopped, and they're giant superhero movies in the last couple of years, because their agenda is killing their franchises and killing everything. So once they get that agenda out of it and start talking to people like people and stop talking down to them and bullying them into believing this cult-like mentality where everyone has to have one mind and one thought, like I said before. But I don't want to talk about this forever. So tell me what you think about the 2000X cartoon series for Masters of the Universe. It was a great show. It had great toys. I never got any of the toys, but I do collect the Origins versions of the Masters of the Universe now. So that's just kind of what I'm into. That's kind of more old-fashioned He-Man toy kind of feel. But that's beside the point. I'm not talking about toys here. I'm talking about the show. So tell me what you think about the show, if you watched it or not. I don't know what audience I'm speaking to. I don't know if everyone's into this. I don't know. But I just wanted to get thoughts and kind of tell you what I thought about it and just let you know. So tell me what you think in the comment section below, and like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.